Now, as I was explaining, like I said, it took me a quick second. There is a shiny Bulbasaur. As Levi comes out and does growl, of course, to his Kakuna. But there is a shiny Bulbasaur, so if the developers want to go for Leafa to be actually a Leafa as the shiny Bulbasaur, that would be up to them. But I did not do it on the concept, even though I could go for that Bulbasaur for her. But I end up, going with Leafa how she was. Now, if they do decide to have her be the green like that, that would be interesting. But it will be up to the developers if I don't have the chance to partake in my word or suggestion. Quick Kakuna. Give me a quick second. And we are back. And she lands a critical hit with the Vine Whip this time. Not very effective, as Kakuna does harden again. Secretly and surprisingly, the defense will not go higher for Kakuna. But the defense is there, and Kakuna is in brace mode. Endure mode, I like to call it. As Leafa takes down this Kakuna with amazing tenacity. As it is, while Kakuna is down, out comes Caterpie. And of course, as it is, Caterpie still have the Weedles back in the forest, which is good. Now, as it is, in this part, Leafa is still out, but Silk jumps out of Leafa's arms, and she starts doing harden at this Caterpie again. In that instance, of course, that Caterpie did what the Caterpie did to her as a move while she stepped forward. And she practically jumped out of Leafa's hands. Leafa did not have a good grip. Leafa does the growl to get the Caterpie's attention as the Caterpie goes after her. And it did go after her whenever it did its move. And it bided enough time before the critical hit from the Vine Whip for Kakuna to get dragged away. Now, don't forget, hopefully developers will add in, or also as wild Pokemon in the background of our scenes that are just mating in nature or battling and fighting each other in the background. Now, as it is, we'll find out about that next. That's the good part about this grass, and it's that long. As Weedle comes out after Caterpie went down, and Splenda is on the roll. As she sends out Prime, and Prime does scratch. Knows what to do. Takes Weedle. High level Caterpie comes out this time, and I send out Mangs. told her to do tackle immediately. As you saw that. She knows what she wanted to do, and I mean, he won't know what he wanted to do. He attacked really well. I had ranks in my mind. And he lands another critical hit for me. He is on a roll for me. He is ready. I'm going to keep him out. As ideally as I would go with my instinct. Now, ideally, as for that, of course, this Caterpie pops out. And Spot sends out Sting this time. Now, that Caterpie could be one that can avenge from that Caterpie getting hit with those critical hits from Mang's lower level Caterpie. But, of course, that Caterpie is a Caterpie that looked up to the stronger Caterpie and is willing to battle and, step up for their grassland. Now, Spot gets more aggressive, and she says to Sting, string shot this Caterpie and be ready to hit with effective, and try to hit with an effective poison sting. And still, the Caterpie is resilient. Excuse me. But Sting hits a critical hit with his next poison sting. After the shocking discovery of the Caterpie showing his toughness, we're taking the other poison sting, I should say, for real. And another Caterpie ends up popping out again. So this can be a clan if you'd like. It's up to you all after the scenario. But as it is, Silk comes out, immediately does string shot. He gets hit with the tackle, does harden. Of course, this Caterpie hits a couple times. Silk gets hit with a critical hit that time, and Spleefa is like, oh no, Silk. Oh no, Silk. Bond, would you assist me this time? And of course, she comes out. Sees that Silk is hit, on the ground sideways, and sees that Spleefa is going to go help her. And of course, it pumps Bind up. Now, as it is, she ends up doing weird. Wow. And as you can see, while she was pumped up throughout the scenario instance, like I said, these scenes, they look like they're butt, but if you stick with them, and she ends up hitting the hard karate chop. Wasn't very effective, but it was pumped up enough from seeing Silk on the ground getting picked up by Spleefa, from getting hit with a critical hit. If you would like, the developers, they can have Spleefa say, Spleefa got, Silk got hit with a critical hit. Hell, I need your assistance, Bond. You know what I mean? As we hear a Caterpie crap. And it is Pikachu that comes out this time. Seems like we got attention in the forest a little while. And of course, as it is, this Pikachu's upset. Immediately does growl. Now, as it ends up being, Prime did the first layer by himself, but Splenda encourages his layer again for the second time. Now, he does the second time of the layer and ends up being zapped with Thunderbolt. Of course, he does the low kick. And it effectively, surprisingly, hits Pikachu with normal velocity and takes Pikachu down. And of course, that Pikachu was a baby practically, being on level 3. You know, we already know level 2s are babies. Level 1 and level 2s are actual small babies. Like, they're smaller than their actual size. Now, as it goes, here we go again. I send out Mengs. This is a Kakuna. I told her to tackle this time. Whoa, I keep telling him to tackle. In this instance, the defense is there, knowing how Kakuna is. So, as it goes, I end up telling him, practice on your tail whip. Like, you know, I say, Kakuna is a defense Pokemon. It won't hurt you. You know, they don't like to fight Pokemon in the forest. You know, practice on your tail whip. Now I have him practice on his tail whip. Now he ends up going on a tail whip fury. Oh. Now, as it is, and of course as it is, Kakuna is brave for, you know, enduring and facing these tail whips that Mengs is doing also. Now, if it is an extra concept feature, if it can beat a recall attack, you know what I mean? Even if it's, you know, a recall status attack, that would be neat. I feel like it should do some type of, you know, extra damage. People will be upset, like, oh man, I fucking went down from a tail whip, but when it's their turn and they're the attacker, then they won't be upset. Now, as I go and I tell him, let's try to wrap this quicker, tackle again. Now, ideally as it is, he does this tackle, but as it's going, Kakuna is on defense. Now, as it goes, you know, the females, they're peeping in and realizing, they're like, oh, Kakuna's defense is really there, you know? And I tell him, don't let up, keep tackling. And ideally, as it goes, he ends up tackling still. Now, ideally, as it would be, hopefully, it will be a lively scene and a healthy scene, as if he keeps attacking and he, as I'm going to save, not for me. I'm going to save before we go further with any of them. But ideally, as it goes, hopefully the scenes will be healthy and, you know, it'll be continuous. Like, he does tackle, you know what I mean? He goes back to his position and he's ready to lunge back again. But Kakuna gets his turn to harden before he does his tackle again. But it doesn't just continuously slow down, you know? the battle. The battle's still in quick enough motion that it's reaction pace. Now it doesn't have to be extremely fast because they are still all babies, even though they're on a decent level. They're all still babies, so it's not like they're professionals at their attack bases. This Pikachu pops out and she says, "Quickly, Sting, poison Sting." Immediately, poison stings. Now, Sting understands and knows who Pikachu is in the forest, so he ends up doing effective with this poison sting. Now, as it is, he's exhausted. He's nearly about to faint, and she's like, "Great job, Nangs." And she sends out Nangs. So, bro, headed to the house. I'm off on Tuesday and Wednesday, though.
Okay. That sounds nice.
Yeah, bro. I'll be down on Tuesday, especially. I'll try to be down in the daytime, so I have some time, just in case if you work. Do you work in the morning or do you work at night?
It varies.
I'll message that. This time I'm free though, and I'm trying to come outside. Now, as it is, Nangs ends up doing the tackle, but gets hit with static from the reaction of Pikachu being scared and getting poisoned. Now, I had to quickly talk to my boy while I'm still walking up the hill. Great effort, great battle. But sadly, Nangs is paralyzed. Of course, now the forest is getting our attention, and these Lidl are getting agitated as they're popping out. And of course, it's not stopping Silk while she's in the forest. If you like, Leafa could be holding her still. Now, ideally, as I would like, I want us to have episodes that we're actually we present forward old Pokemon episodes that Ash and everyone went through. So it's like, the girls are kind of fans of Ash also, but of course, Gary, But as they end up saying, Spleefa, she's a fan of Ash's especially. She ends up holding her Metapod just like he is, and he does. But she ends up saying it in a legend way. She ends up saying remember hearing of tales and stories of the legendary Pokemon trainer Ash carrying his Metapod through Viridian Forest with the great gym leader Misty and Brown. Something that ends up teaspooning and spicing it up.